to talk about my favorite Tai Chi principle, and that's weight transference. And first I'm going to talk about the outward manifestation of weight transference, and then something that is really near and dear to my heart, the internal manifestation of weight transference, because I'm going to talk about the feet and the nerve endings in the feet and how Tai Chi helps those nerve endings regenerate upon occasion. So first, for weight transference, I could demonstrate it, but that would seem kind of stupid when probably everybody in this room knows more about weight transference than I do. So what I'm going to start with is say how I use weight transference in my practice, along with breathing. So the first thing I do is I start with the intention to use the Tai Chi principles, right? Because you always start with the way you intend to go on. So the first thing I think about is when I ground myself, is that I am going to go slowly, smoothly, and continuously with a slight tension on my body. Then after that, I'm going to shift my weight from side to side, and I'm going to continue moving for the duration of my practice. So what does this intention to use the principles really mean? What it means is by going slowly, smoothly, and continuously, I'm gently moving my joints, I'm increasing my flexibility, my range of motion, range of motion, and I'm putting more weight on the muscles that surround the joints, so I'm getting more muscle strength. And then when I shift my weight forward and backwards, when I practice soon, what I'm doing is I'm actually getting much more exercise, but not only that, shifting my weight backwards and forwards allows me to challenge my balance and coordination while going slowly and continuously. And then third, I like to think that because I'm more calm and I'm not anxious like I am right now in front of all of you, what happens is I have a reduction in my anxiety. And this whole experience starts with my intention to practice with the principles, which starts with combining what I'm thinking with how I'm moving. So that in itself actually causes me to take deeper breaths, which helps my respiratory system. And because I'm forcing blood through my body as I'm moving, it actually improves my cardiovascular system. So isn't that what we're supposed to be teaching? How the principles enhance your practice. It starts with intention. It gives you greater flexibility, greater range of motion, greater strength in the muscles that surround your joints. It challenges your balance and your coordination, and it increases your respiratory and your cardiovascular function. Right? So those are the things that we need to just memorize and talk about them off the top of our head, even if we can't all do them at the same time, because we have to explain why our Tai Chi is better for you than just regular exercise, right? So now the second part of my little I'm sorry, was that a, oh. I'm sorry. Okay, so now I'm actually going to go over my time limit. So let's talk about the feet. What do my feet do for me? Let's talk about these little fat feet that are supporting me. My feet each have 200,000 nerve endings in them, right? So I was lucky enough to be able to take some medication that even though it wasn't pleasant, I'm standing here alive making jokes about it, so it must have been pretty good. But what happens is my feet are supposed to tell me where my body is in space. They're supposed to tell me what kind of surface I'm walking on, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's rough, whether it's smooth. And when I don't have those impulses going to my brain, I can't control where I put my feet. Well, I couldn't control where I put my feet, but after I started Tai Chi, I found out that by standing and concentrating on what I'm doing, and not just exercise, really concentrating on what I'm doing, it helped me regain part of the feeling in my feet. Not a great amount of feeling, but part of the feeling. And I was told I should exercise if I want to try to regain part of the feeling. from chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy. So I was very fortunate that I happened to find Pat Lawson, my master trainer, who yesterday I pointed out has abandoned me recently after 15 years. But I will carry on without her, and I will invite her back. But like I said, I think that the best thing that anybody can do for themselves that has peripheral neuropathy is to practice Tai Chi. But I looked at the medical studies, it says, uh-oh. I looked at the medical studies and it said Tai Chi is no better than regular rehabilitation. But this is something that I noticed when I read those medical studies. What it said is people said, Tai Chi did not stop my peripheral neuropathy. It did not help me gain more feeling in my feet. And they said, well, why are you continuing to take these classes? And you know what they said? Oh, because I have better balance and coordination. I'm sorry, is this like a test? You take Tai Chi to help you manage your symptoms. It doesn't cure them. So all I'm saying is, even in the class that I have just almost finished, my instructor taught me a new way to slightly move from my dantian and shift in circles. And I could actually feel a little bit more impulse from the nerve endings at the edge of my feet, not the center of my feet. And thank you very much for your attention.